Long ago, there was a young monk who lived deep in the forest. He owned almost nothing, just one simple robe, a begging bowl, and the peace of his meditation. His life was quiet. Every morning he walked to the nearby village with his bowl, received a little food, and returned to his hut to eat and meditate. For a while, life felt perfect. He had no worries, no distractions, just the stillness of trees and the sound of birds. But one day, rats crept into his hut and chewed holes into his robe. The young monk felt troubled. He could not live without a robe, so he walked into the village to ask for help. A kind villager gave him a new robe. The monk was grateful and returned to his practice. Yet, before long, the rats chewed through the second robe as well. The monk thought, I must protect my robe, or I will always be troubled. So he asked the villagers for a cat to keep the rats away. The villagers gave him one. Now he had a robe and a cat, but the cat needed milk. So he asked for a cow. The villagers gave him a cow. Now he had a robe, a cat, and a cow, but the cow needed grass and care. So the monk asked for a piece of land. The villagers gave him some land. Now he had a robe, a cat, a cow, and land, but the land needed tending. So he asked for a servant, and so it went on. The young monk, who once sat peacefully with just a robe and a bowl, now had fields, animals, and people to manage. His days, once filled with meditation, were now filled with worries: feeding the cow, paying the servant, keeping the land fertile. One day, an old wandering monk passed by. Seeing the busy young monk, he asked, "Brother, why are you so troubled?" The young monk sighed, "All because of this robe. To protect it, I got a cat. To feed the cat, I got a cow. To care for the cow, I needed land. To manage the land, I needed a servant. And now I am no longer a monk, I have become a householder." The old monk smiled kindly and said, "Sometimes one small desire grows into a chain of attachments. If you are not careful, a single robe can bind your freedom." The young monk sat in silence. He realized that he had traded his peace for possessions. That very evening, he gave away his land, the cow, and even the cat. With only his robe and bowl, he returned to the forest. Once again, his heart felt light. This story shows how easily one small desire can grow into many. We think, just this one thing, and I will be happy. But then one thing leads to another, and soon our mind is full of worries. The robe is like our modern desires. Maybe a new phone, a better job, or a little more comfort. There is nothing wrong with these things, but when they multiply endlessly, they steal our freedom. True peace does not come from having more. It comes from knowing how much is enough. Desires multiply endlessly if we let them. Simplicity brings freedom. The less we cling to, the lighter our hearts become.